I can read it with telepathy. You making me.
You making me.
They cause I with a passion. I told they cause I with a passion. I told they goose I with a passion. I told they goose I with a passion. I with a passion.
Much. We back at it, Rap Yard Podcast. Oh, what's this happening?
Yeah.
Is cut and their drinks are cold. It's time for your Thursday kickback about all things rap. Feature and pass with your host
Troydashow.
And Lucid the Dreamwaker, and this is the Rap Yard Podcast.
Podcast. Hey,
Hey,
what's up, everybody?
welcome back to the Rap Yard.
My bad.
Oh no!
Welcome back. Someone also ran off with my headphones, so
Oh no, that's all right.
yeah. Let me know if you hear echo. All right, we still have one person. We have a special guest on right now. It's a social. I forget the word. I keep forgetting it too. Well, help me out.
You said a social.
I can pull it on their website. Hold on.
A social.
Enterprise.
Oh,
they're back.
Okay.
Yeah, that helps at-risk youth in the Atlanta area, find their purpose and entrepreneurship and learn how to grow their own food. What just happened?
I was gonna say, okay.
Why
Get
is this
back.
happening? Okay. Anyway, let me not embarrass myself anymore. Let's bring them on. Please welcome Gangstas to Growers, everybody.
Woohoo! Welcome.
We should have a third person on here.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Oh, okay, we can hear you, but we can't see you. That's cool.
Oh, you can't see?
You? Sorry?
Can you see me?
I can
Can you
see
hear
you,
me?
but I can't see.
Zai.
Yeah.
Wait,
I gotta
we might have
find
to
some
do-
good lighting. Hold on.
What just happened?
He
No.
say he has to find good lighting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
We're good. How are
I'm
you?
good. How are you?
I'm good.
We're off to a rocky start, but we're doing good. So I found out about y'all through Instagram. I saw that I guess it was a post by y'all, but it could have been somebody shared it, where there were some young men standing on the corner selling hot sauce to people walking or driving by. So how does that tie into what you're doing? Or just tell us about your organization, I guess, for people that don't know.
I could tell you real quick. Zai, those were his comrades. Those were his program that were out there on the street selling sauce in Oakland City. But my name is Abiodun Henderson. I'm the founder of the Come Up Project, featuring the Gangstas to Growers training program. And we believe in worker-owned businesses. So we got Sweet Soul, the hot sauce, and Kwanzaa that was developed by the class after him, the cohort after him. They deal with everything agricultural, installing gardens, all that. So we employ and train formerly incarcerated, at-risk young people, ages 16 to 30.
Okay.
And we pay them now. We're able to pay $18 an hour, 40 hours a week.
Wow.
And it's a 10-month long program.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
That's powerful.
Because I saw that story you shared about how, especially in Alabama, the prison system is really exploiting people that are incarcerated for free labor, which is slavery.
Mm-hmm.
And how even like major fast food chains are using it. These people have to go to work every day and work for free, and they don't get a break.
It's real. That's the real gangsters out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Our other sponsor, I'm trying to think of their name. Free something. I'll pull it up while I'm talking, but they're a t-shirt company, and they actually kind of do the same thing, where they don't have like an age limit, but they exclusively hire people that have been in the prison system. So, yeah, it's good to see people like y'all doing stuff like that in the world, because it's a crazy world we live in.
And so, what was the trigger that made you guys say, okay, this is what we want to form, this is what we want to do, is to help people go through these experiences? Was it like a certain moment, or did you guys come together and just clicked, or how did that work?
Well,
You
Yeah, whoever wants to go first.
you want to go, man?
sure.
I bet.
Real quick, I'm from Brooklyn. My mother's West African from Liberia. She was native to Liberia, which means she was from the Crew tribe, KRU crew.
Mhm.
And we were known as the hardest to enslave, period.
Mm,
So my mother was also a social worker. She taught child psychology, and then before she died of AIDS, by the hands of an abusive boyfriend, she opened up a school named after the missionary that raised her. And my daddy was a rank and file Black Panther member, but he was also in the streets, gambled,
mhm,
all the stuff. So I think, as I got older with that background, I was also on the street, used to date blood or whatever back in
mhm,
Brooklyn. And I was, living in New Orleans. I knew folks that burned folks' house down for
mm,
get back. You know what I'm saying? I was in
mhm.
New Orleans 2002 to 2004, and it was wild. But fast forward to the Occupy movement, joined up Occupy the Hood. Through that experience, I was, part of this organizing this apartment complex called
Mhm.
Chapel Forest. We had sit-ins at the mayor's office when Kasim was in office, and I peeped through that experience because it failed. It's bulldozed now,
Mhm.
and it's bulldozed. It was sabotaged. All the things. We didn't politically
Wow.
educate everyone,
Mhm.
and we didn't have resources to sustain the tenants, right?
Right, right.
Right.
So I peeped that, and then I went through an urban growers training program at True Living Well. That's
Mhm.
perfect, Zach. At True Living Well, and I realized we want this self-sufficient food system, but we don't have no labor. Like, I'm gonna be honest, there was food, spoiling
Mhm.
at True Living Well. It wasn't enough labor. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? All these Black farmers, ain't able to do what they need to do. And
Mhm.
then the neighborhood I lived in, Westview, right near the West End, we had a camp for 3 years in a row, middle school and high school students. I rocked out with the folks that were in high school or not in high school. And my neighbor, was in a gang with
Mhm.
his homies, and they would boost shit
Mhm.
and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. So I think, then also I was a waitress and I worked for the union,
Right.
and I worked in the airport at Echo, a fine dining restaurant, and all the people in the kitchen were getting $1 less than what they were supposed to be getting.
Wow.
That's
So it's like you seen all these problems and you're like, okay, I need a solution for this, 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 and this. And then it all
yeah.
started kind of coming together. Okay. It's like, well, I can't do this without this part, but I'm seeing this is wrong here. So let's kind of combine them all and
Yeah.
Ex-Blackly, right? So that's why these young people, and Zion need to talk after
Mhm.
me, most definitely. But that's why they have parenting class, they do yoga, Muay Thai, capoeira, African drumming, nutritional cooking class, herbalism every week, fitness, political education.
Mhm.
This like is a Black Panther program. I don't know why
Mhm.
I'm saying that loud right now at this
Mhm.
moment, but I don't know
Mhm.
why.
Mhm.
But, honestly, the Panthers created programs in their community, right? It
Right.
wasn't about the guns for real. It was
Okay.
about survival programs,
Mhm.
and it was about it was the age group. They
Mhm.
were Bobby Hutton, who got shot, was 16. You know what I'm saying? Fred Hampton, Huey P. They were like 23, 22. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They
Young.
were young. Young
Young.
people in the civil rights movement, it's always been young people to shift things, right? But they got young
Mm.
people distracted right now. So with the political
Right.
education, they're learning about past movements, learning about how to navigate local government. We
Mhm.
ain't worried about national as much.
Mhm.
We'll do whatever we need to do, but it's that local, the judges, the school board, the city council.
Right.
Um, so learn how to purify water, build shelter. They get group therapy every week.
Mhm.
They can have, they can make. We pay for personal sessions with therapists,
Mhm.
financial coaching, business
Wow.
classes,
That's
art
powerful.
therapy, writing, environmental responsibility, everything.
Wow.
And they get
Sounds
paid.
like just about every sector of life, like
Yeah.
whatever you need.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
in Black
that's
history.
perfect.
In Black history, so that folks understand, that Black folks ain't always been
Hmm.
like, we really suffered, especially the young people, when they see what they going through, they see the
Hmm.
lack of elders, all this stuff.
Hmm.
They're like, oh, we're trash. You know what I'm saying? But they
Hmm.
don't understand that this is all by design.
In the
You know,
context.
they got to get the context. They got to get the
Hmm.
history. They got to
Hmm.
know. We know we weren't all kings and queens, but we had civilizations that did
Hmm.
this, that, the other. So
Hmm.
that's it. And then we know the end game is like worker ownership. Like this single entrepreneurship is not gonna. 85% of the Black-owned businesses in Georgia are one person. It's one
Wow.
employee.
Wow. Wow.
It's one employee, y'all. So this single entrepreneurship may feed a family, or
Hmm.
some generations of a family. But how do we get everybody right? Right?
Interconnectedness, not just everyone looking out and providing necessarily just for your own, but how can we make it more of a community,
Yeah, like it takes a
more of
village
a
kind of thing.
pool, a funding pool, rather than individualistic.
Period.
Hmm.
Now,
So
I've been noticing in Atlanta the last probably, I don't know, maybe 10 or so years, maybe 15, a big movement towards being more like self-sustained, and especially towards the food side of it. We had King's Apron on here like a month ago, maybe. You familiar with him?
he taught in 2018, 19. He was one of the chefs that taught.
Awesome. All right.
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Chef Zoo. He's real cool dude. He's doing a lot of good for the community as well. But I like seeing his videos where he's out around the streets of Atlanta. He'll see like a weed growing, and most people just see it and be, oh, a weed. He'll
Yeah.
take it and be like, yeah, you can put this in tea. It'll cure like this, that. That's very cool. And I mean, have you noticed that there's been like a boom of this holistic living and like more of a Black Power movement in Atlanta in the last decade or so? Or is it more
Yeah,
just
for
out
sure.
there now?
I
For
think
sure.
you see that, Zai?
Yeah, for sure. Facts.
Yeah,
People
especially
come to Atlanta for opportunity. It's like
Yeah.
Hmm.
somebody told me we on like a crystal, so it's like a bunch of good energy over here, like
Hmm. Hmm.
prosperous energy, abundant energy over here.
Right.
yeah.
Facts.
And that's why I moved to like the West End, Westview community, because before this, it was even stronger. Like the
Hmm.
Shrine of the Black Madonna in the West End, it's a Pan-African Orthodox Christian church that was started by young people whose leader used to rock with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. So they were all about self-sufficiency, right? And then
Right.
in the West End, you have like the highest concentration of Black-owned vegan restaurants,
Mm.
like straight up and down.
Yeah.
So the West End, which is near the AUC Center and all that, the West End always been on that because
Yeah.
the Shrine came about in the 70s, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So they've always been the sole vegetarian restaurant's been there for, I don't know, 20 something years. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So the West End has always been on that. And I think because of that, it's like spread.
Hmm.
Because the movement kind of died down. The crack era was vicious,
Mm.
and then the 90s, somebody said sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of was all up
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
African-centered community. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, while
Hmm.
people showing up with their stuff, all kind of mess going on
Hmm.
behind. Forgive me if I ain't saying no names. I don't know nobody anyway. So like Zaya said, there is a Erica Badu, like all the folks are saying, there's a conscious. We're in the age of Aquarius or age of
Hmm.
something.
Yeah.
There's it's just a consciousness that's growing, period, all over the country, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the internet, especially like some, Instagram, TikTok, people seeing each other's ideas and stuff like that, it's really growing, which is good.
Hmm.
Um, so
Definitely.
Good. What's the name of your hot sauce? And can you tell everybody where to find it?
It's Sweet Soul. You can follow Instagram at Sweet Soul ATL. That's Sweet SOL ATL.
Mm-hmm.
They got lavender, turmeric, muscovado sugar, ancho peppers, habanero peppers, onions, and garlic. We make it ourselves. IBL Doom gave us the recipe. She gave it to us just to, keep us out of trouble. Give us self-sufficiency. I did actually made a pot today with some volunteers. Like 8 volunteers came. I made a pot with them in the Gangsta Growers today.
Do you have to wear protective gear? Because I've heard about like hot sauce plants being by communities, and the communities are suffering with runny eyes and nose and everything, and skin's burning.
Yeah. I say just make sure you wearing gloves, especially when you come on habanero. You can't even touch your skin when it's on there.
You don't want to accidentally.
Yeah, facts.
So if I put this hot sauce on my 6-piece wing lemon peppers, is my mouth? Am I going to be going at the end of it, or am I going to be okay? Okay.
You're from Indiana, so maybe
it's more so like it's more so like it got more flavor than kick. It got a kick to it. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I like.
But
it
got good flavor on it, for sure.
Yes,
we done made chicken dip with it. Like you know how they got buffalo chicken dip. We made it with our sauce. You know what I'm saying? Sweet soul chicken dip. That's what we call it. We got the dip, the vegan dip with the chickpeas, avocado, vegan cream cheese, sour cream, vegan mayo. What else we done made with it? Definitely. My girl done made the wings with it. She got pictures, and we finna post all that for sure. When y'all see it, y'all gonna see it on the Instagram.
Okay, definitely.
Do y'all have a website, like an e-commerce thing going on?
Yes, ma'am. You can go to gangstergrowers.com. www.gangstergrowers.com.
Perfect.
Wednesdays.
Wednesday?
Wednesdays.
Okay.
They are at the West Side Motor Lounge. Right, Zai?
Facts. Vegan social. Pop out. It's always a vibe. I don't know if it's where y'all at, but if y'all do so happen to come to Atlanta every Wednesday.
Okay, I'd love to go.
Vegan social.
I'm in Louisiana. He's in Indiana.
Okay, for sure. Y'all come out here, come check us out.
Yeah, definitely.
Check that whole event out. Like, they got everything. I'm not even a vegan for real. They got nothing but vegan trucks there. I'm eating out of all of them every time I go. Facts.
Wow.
I just had a shrimp po' boy yesterday. It tastes amazing.
And it was a vegan shrimp po' boy.
It was vegan shrimp po' boy.
I gotta figure out that.
Crazy thing is, I had got some for free because I helped set up there too. So I had I got some for free. She gave me some oxtails.
Oh wow!
I had to see what they were talking about. I see what they were talking about.
Wait, vegan oxtail?
Vegan oxtail. I'm like,
was it made out of like tofu?
It got made of like carrots or something.
I should have went to ask her, but I didn't even ask her. It had a meat texture on it.
Wow.
They do all kinds of creative stuff.
Nowadays, it's almost inseparable.
Right. For real. If done right, I'm good.
It's only I think it's like 8 hours away from me. How far are you from Atlanta?
Let me see. Actually, I was actually already about to check.
So were you Miss Henderson, did you go to were you involved in Hurricane Katrina at all? Because you said you moved there in 2004, is that right?
Thank God I moved away in 2004 in May.
Oh, okay.
The storm was 2005, and I lived on Haynes Road, which across the street was a levee on the east side, in the east, New Orleans East. So, everything happens for a reason, because I kind of fled. I was following my mother's footsteps. I was with an abusive guy that I had to stab at one point, but I still went back to. But I was young. I was 20. I think I was 20 when I left New Orleans, and everything happened for a reason, because the folks I knew that stayed there, were in school, was on the bridge, family members of the people I met there, this gangsta ass folks. They came up to Atlanta, my friend Raquel's brother, and he was in the back room like in tears, because that's how traumatic the experience was,
right.
And then when I went back there in 2010, maybe 2000. I just know I was pregnant with my son. So 2014, I went down when I was working with the unions because they were unionizing one of the casinos, the hotels there. And when I say it was beard and plaid shirt, white men everywhere.
Yeah, you said you said 2014.
Yes,
I might have been down there at the time with my bearded plaid shirt dude.
Yes, you had the shirts on.
girl, the gentrification was real.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all would never be over here. Y'all would never be over here. Like,
no,
but that's the thing with the ecological, like, there's a term for it somewhere, but it's like this environmental gentrification that happens in the Caribbean islands. It happens in all these different states. Every time there's a big storm, people come, those with resources come, buy up land, buy up houses, and then it's not ever the same.
Do you think they're doing it because the land and the houses are cheap? Because I think property value went up in New Orleans after the storm, but I don't know. I can't speak on that. You think so?
People are we are all getting played like suckers. White, black, whoever you are in this country, you're getting played like a sucker. So folks are just doing stuff that makes sense, right, for themselves, not for the community, because individualism is queen and king in this country, right? So folks aren't thinking. So yeah, things were cheap. Things were cheaper. And then when all the people whose lives are more valuable in this country are there, you know, from the government standards, then everything starts raising. So unintentionally, it's young white people that may not even have a lot of money, right? Their family may have a little something, right? But they come down there because shit is cheap. Same in Brooklyn. It happened in Brooklyn first. When I was 15, I'm 42. 15, seeing a white man walk his dog down the street. You know what I'm saying? It happened in Williamsburg. Like, shit was cheap. So it's about us not knowing that land is valuable. So we'll sell our mama and grandmama's house, right? Because we need money. You know, it's just a game. It's a really sick game and cycle. And it's a game that if we are informed on how they playing it with us, like little puppets. Because even, I'm gonna be honest, even the police, I don't know how long we're supposed to be on here.
You're fine.
But even with the police, right? I was doing some, you know, I keep saying to shut my mouth on things, but there's stuff that's happening down here, Cop City stuff or whatever that's happening. And they needed to canvass more or whatever. Anyway, regardless, my name is Bennett. I wasn't in it. But what I was trying to tell folks is even this like fuck the police mentality that we have, I get it. But the police are pawns. The police ain't the ones, y'all.
Calling the shots that set up the structure.
They're not the ones. If the government and the government officials were nicer and kinder and loved their citizens more, the police would follow suit. Right? It's not the police making decisions I was locked up before and I peeped the guards, right? You know, y'all heard that Stanford experiment where they had white college students act like the guards and some of the prisoners. Within a couple of days, the students that were guards were treating the prisoners like trash. Like there's real psychology shit to this. The guards, being a police officer is not a healthy job. Being a prison guard is not a healthy job.
No.
So my thing is, get these people out of these unhealthy ass jobs, put money to food, clothing, and shelter, and empowering people and letting them have more control over what goes on in their daily lives and in their communities. Stop fixing this capitalism to create individualists, right? And we would need less police, and they could find a real passion that they may have in their life, because the police ain't even it's a game, y'all. So they put the police in front of us. We're like, police, da da da. Well, these folks in their office, or in their house, chilling.
Watching the whole like cops versus riots going on.
While they're causing the issues that causes crime and poverty to rise, and which comes to more terrible policing of communities. When they're the ones sitting in the office somewhere passing the law and they don't care, or we don't even know who they are.
Right.
Yo, it's a wicked game, but as long as we're taught to see clearly, we can start to really shift the society. And if we can move away from the convenience that the society gives us, because that's another big part of the game. Like I have to stop myself from Uber eating. I have to stop. Like I should have a garden, even though I'm connected and doing all this stuff. Sometimes I forget. I keep going to the grocery store and I know farmers, right? Like it's this whole brainwashing of like depend
it's
on
hard. Yeah.
Break them down the mindsets that we probably grew up with our whole lives.
Right.
And remind yourself, especially like you said, it's so convenient. It's like, or I can just run down to Walmart 10 minutes and but when you think about it in the long run, actually doing more hurt towards you than rending good.
Well, like for example, like in Colorado, I know now when I went this summer, they don't give you bags. Like when you go to the grocery store, you got to carry your stuff out in your hands, or you can buy a paper bag, a big recycled paper bag that tears real easy, or you can bring your own bags. They don't give you the option. So if that's like, socially, that's the norm. That's one thing. If I was to walk out of the Walmart here where I am in Louisiana, carrying a bunch of cans and chicken or whatever to my car, and I see someone I know, they're going to be like, you idiot, So it's
what are
like
you
it's
doing?
a social thing too. Yeah.
Right. But,
is there now? Y'all are just in Atlanta. You're just in Atlanta right now. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I'm like looking at Zai. I'm like, you can answer. They gonna take over the look. I ain't one of those folks. Soon come 10 years, between 10 to 20 years, this organization is gonna be completely run by the graduates. So that's how we roll. I just want to say this real quick. I know you're asking a question. We take them to conferences. Zai's about to go to a conference next week, right? So usually when you go to these conferences, it's the leaders of the organizations. And even if it's all Black, whatever, it's just those of us with the privilege get to experience these events. No, I always bring the youth. I'm gonna stop going to some of these conferences soon, and they gonna go, you know what I mean? Like the whole point is like, I'm not trying to be an elder seeing this all the way through. It ain't gonna get done in my lifetime. We want to build worker-owned factories where we're making items out of industrial hemp and bamboo, right? We want to eventually make everything that we use, every single thing. We want to produce it ourselves, which is very dangerous. So I just want to say that. That's why I was like kind of eyeing Zai, like, you answer.
But no, that's very cool. That's a lot of people that get into doing stuff like this will get, I don't know, like kind of egotistical about it, or they'll be like, it's mine, only I know how to do it right. But you seem to have a very good sense of like community and not a lot of ego going on. And that's important, I think.
I would definitely say it's probably, I think that's one of the disconnects in our community between age groups, elders and the youth. I definitely think that's a connection that even hearing this is a really good thing, when how to get the younger group into this conversation, into these rooms, into, voicing their opinions or hearing what others got to say is really awesome.
And not like dismiss people because they're this age or that age kind of thing. Well, I was asking because in my community, I see a lot of that, and I could go into a whole spiel about it, but I won't. But have you ever thought about like expanding or like going to other communities with this type of movement outside of Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm in Monroe, Louisiana, so we could use some help. So I've been trying to figure that out not since I moved here, but somewhere around then. Like I said, I could go into it more. I've talked about it on here before, but it's a big disparity, and I see a lot of young people suffering because of it. So,
Yeah. So I think, go ahead.
So I was gonna ask, so if there was someone in a different city somewhere and they were inspired by what you guys do, and they wanted to also do something beneficial for their community outside of themselves, what would you tell them their first start should be? Just with an idea, or is this go for it, or is this kind of look for the problems like you did?
I didn't do a lot of research. The only thing I knew was Homeboy Industries out in Cali, started by a priest, and they got like a salsa. They also are in like the airport. They have a cafe in the airport. They have all these businesses. They're not worker owned, but they provide jobs and it's a training program. So that's all I knew. I was like, okay, I see this. I see True Living Well, the program they had me in, you know. So a lot of people would be asking me, you know about this program? This program? I was like, nah, I don't be knowing. I don't look. But what I would say is, if you have an idea, I hear a lot of people say, I want to start a nonprofit, right? What that tells me, I don't want to be judgmental, but I'll just be saying fact. What that tells me is that they're looking to get paid. They want to do the good thing, right?
Right.
But they want to make sure they have financial security while they're doing the good thing.
Right.
I get it, right? I just studied the Panthers, right? Even though they were struggling, right? I don't think everybody should be poor doing this work, right? I just stopped being poor from doing this, kind of. So, no, we're not poor. Anyway, sorry, that's my partner. He was like, "Oh yeah, we're not." But anyway, no, I can pay my rent. You know what I'm saying? Which is a lot. Like I tell my children, you know, we got food. So, I would say just get together with some other folks. Get together with some like-minded folks, because this program ain't nothing without all those people that are doing all those different classes that we have, right? So I had the camp first, and I when we did the camp, it was just a group of people in the community that came together and was like, this is what we're gonna do. And we made the lunch, right? We didn't look for a grant. I think the Baha'i community helped with a few dollars because they happen to be neighbors or whatever, and they had their own mission, you know, but they gave us a few dollars. We did a week-long camp. It was just community. Next year we did 2 weeks. It was out of Miss Pat's house. You know what I'm saying? We just used her house. The last year of the camp, because gentrification and whiteness and all the things effed us up, with the camp, it was in 3 different churches. They had breakfast at one church that were all clustered near each other. Lunch in another church and programming in the other church, right? So that's something I'll say. If you want to do programming, go to these churches. Churches always have land. They have classrooms. They have big ass kitchens. We are not utilizing these institutions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And churches, you know, you pay a nominal fee or whatever and get a group of people that are willing to, at least in the beginning, volunteer some kind of time to do it. They're not waiting for a paycheck. Let them have another. I had another job, you know. When I did the camp, I was still a waitress when I was doing the camp. When I started Gangsta Girls, I did have to quit, and I was poor for the first 3 years, like for real, living with a cousin and everything, which I wasn't used to. But I had to spend all my time doing it, you know. But there's people that come from all over, and I know we're in the era of rest, right? So I know things I'll be saying, and people are like, no, we need a rest. But like, work at night, do it during the day. You know what I'm saying? Let you put your own money into it first, right? Like all this, we're all pulling from, we're all asking the same damn people for the same amount of money. That's why we got these businesses. So eventually we can be self-sufficient and can stop begging. Because I'm telling you, with the Biden administration in, we did get access to some money from Bezos Earth Fund, which some of my comrades would have been like, I ain't taking no Bezos money, right? But we took that $1 million and expanded the program. And now Zai is here, you know what I'm saying? Being able to do the hot sauce more full time, you know what I mean? Like, those resources helped. But they also make you like beholden when you don't have income coming in. So now I got to get more money. I got to, you know, I try to frame it as reparations to these foundations, you know, and it can get stressful. I had to take a sabbatical because I'm like, these young people are getting raped in jail. These young people are eating trash that causes cancer. Their families can't afford these phone calls. They can't afford. There's Alabama we learning about. There's slave labor. We already knew it was slave labor going on, but we didn't know it was going on outside the jail, the prison like that, right? So I'm like, this is a whole wicked system, and y'all folks got access to money. Why do I have to keep telling y'all the same stuff all the time? To get access to pay these young people.
So at this point, you're getting frustration. You like, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, it seems clear as day to me, and I keep saying it until I'm blue in the face.
But it's a game.
To keep you around.
It's a game. Even though there's Black folks in philanthropy that are trying their hardest. But with Biden in office, the money's drying up. It's weird. There's stuff that Biden has done in the administration, because I ain't one of those person that's like, to undo the amount of evil that has been done from the way indigenous people were killed, right? So the expectations that we have when we're not fully active in this democracy, the expectation that we have of these people we put in office, to me, is sometimes ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you don't know what this country really is then.
Exactly.
Right. So I look at the little stuff, right? I heard remember, Zai, when we was at Emory, I think right before you came, it was a sister that said she was invited to the White House, a white sister from Rutgers, who's been talking about cooperatives, employee ownership forever. Okay. This White House is talking about employee ownership now. They sat her down and was feeding her back her talking points. She was like, yeah, I know this already. Y'all down now? You know what I'm saying? So there's little incremental stuff, right? Which is all I fucking expect, that's happening, right, with this administration. But at the same time, those with money start feeling safe and stop giving. And the Republican Congress, because I talked to Nikema Williams, who replaced John Lewis's seat. I talked to her legislative assistant, right? So he deals housing legislation, agricultural legislation, all that stuff. And they give money to programs every year, right? The Republican Congress, because we don't vote during the interim, they are tight with the money. Folks that used to get $2 million may get $100,000.
Right.
Because I'm with them. I was like, I want to get on y'all budget.
They're tight with the money to y'all. They're real generous when it comes to like military spending and all that stuff.
They reallocate the money, so to say,
or to their own. Yeah.
Say that. So I don't know. I'm like, if you don't want to play the game, which is stay on top of these folks' heads, we need lobbying groups that are in front of Congress all the time, right? I'm just taking all but we're in front of these lobbyists, unless we want to play that game, right? If we don't want to play that game, and if you want to be in the street protesting, my whole thing is 25% we should be begging, which is the lobbying, the protesting, the asking. 75% of our time should be building institutions of empowerment, because the government will eventually come around and look and see what you're doing, because it's working, and they want votes, and they're going to lift it up. That's what happens. Right. Just like with these foundations that at first were giving us 10,000, 20,000. We started getting and mind you, when we first started the program before Zai's, I didn't have no car. I was Ubering them to the farms. It was just me and the educators, but I was the farm program manager. I was the admin. I was all the stuff.
Right.
And we had a big old political article. We had a Bon Appetit magazine article. Like, we got so much press, but they didn't know we were operating from a deficit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that press, because I was just doing the work. I don't have a nonprofit. We're fiscally sponsored by Black Sustainability Inc. and Village Microfund, right? So we run money through them. There's a white organization, a STEAM project. They don't have a nonprofit. They got $20 million, and they're not a nonprofit, right?
Wow.
Unless one of the young people in the future want to form a nonprofit, I'm not really interested in forming a nonprofit. I want us to make this money, pay taxes, circulate the dollar into our thing, have our tax dollars speak for us. Unless we tear it all down before then, and we still have our stuff in place. We know Black farmers everywhere. I'm just being real. Like,
the profit has other purposes other than so you need that kind of flown in to do other things.
And we just got to figure out how we interacting with this game. If we really want stuff to change. If we don't, let's keep living our lives and let them replace all the workers with robots, because these people just are interested in the bottom line. And then the revolution will start. Or we can, build stuff, build systems, institutions of care, so that it don't hit as hard when whatever may happen tomorrow or 100 years from now. It won't be murder, kill in the streets, because people don't have no motherfucking food.
Right.
Doom, doom, doom.
Yeah, five. Yeah, you gotta break it down for them sometimes. Let them
I
know.
love your passion, and I think you're an amazing woman, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anyone wants to get in touch with you, they could just go to your website. And same thing with the hot sauce, gangstas to growers.com. GANGSTASTOGROWERS.com.
For sure.
And you guys have any socials you want to share? Instagram handles? Or...
Yeah, might as
I'm
well.
shut Sweet Soul. It's Sweet Soul ATL. That's Sweet SOL ATL on
I'm about to go
Instagram.
give you a follow. About to give you a follow. Well, we appreciate y'all coming on, and I'm really inspired by this, honestly.
Yeah, really.
Because it took a lot of strength for you to do what you did as one person, let alone with you talking about this other group. Did you say the name of the other group that has 20 million or whatever?
It's a steam truck, or might be steam truck or steam.
Something
They're
like
doing great work, right?
Right.
It's just, I didn't finish college, so
yeah.
I'm
At what
utilizing.
cost? Yeah, at what cost though? That's what I'm.
I mean, I'm not hating on what they're doing. I just saw that they didn't need to be a nonprofit to get hella money.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you don't necessarily, for those that are trying, start an LLC, get a fiscal sponsor,
Definitely.
right? Or if you want to do some work, see if there's any organizations that are out there doing the same type of work you want to do and work up under them. Because that's another thing. We're doing something really specific that no one else is doing.
Right.
But if it was just like the camp or something, we just go help another movement, right?
Yeah.
Like there's movements and organizations that need manpower, to fulfill their mission. So join up with somebody.
Yeah. Just do a little digging, research.
Yeah.
You hear that, folks? Get active.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Get a clique, get a crew, know your farmer. Know your motherfucking farmer.
Yeah. Don't sit at home all day and stare at your phone. Get out.
That's what they want.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Anything else, y'all? What were you saying?
I just talked so much that I ain't really saying nothing.
No, I'm here for it. I was listening to everything.
I really just need to explain the hot sauce for real. Y'all get the gist of it, right? For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you both for being here tonight.
Yeah, appreciate it.
For sure. Thank y'all for having us.
I guess Antlive's not coming.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. We had a good time.
For sure. Appreciate y'all.
Folks, that's a wrap.
Y'all podcast.